welcome back to the channel. So this class will be on how to draft a short, like a knicker short. If this is what you want to see, please stay tuned to the channel. So I'm going ahead to draft out my reference line of 2 inches, and I did the same thing at the side. And these are the materials we'll be working with. Now, the first thing you'll be doing is you'll be needing our hip measurement. In this case, my hip is 11.1. So I'll bring it down 11.1. On my waist, your hip divided by 4. So I'll bring it down 11.1. I'll do the same thing here on the waistline. I'll also bring it down. We are trying to get like a block shape. So I'm going to be connecting the lines. Like so. Now, after doing this, we'll be needing, now this is our crotch depth. We'll be going up by 2 inches. This is the standard for all measurements. You go up by 2 inches to get your hip line. So I'll go up by 2 inches. Remember, we are making a short. Now, when I've gone up by 2 inches, the next thing I'll do is take the length of my short. Now, the length I'll be working with is 20 inches. A length of 20 inches. Now, this will be for both folding allowance. Now, to get our crotch extension, we'll be dividing our round hip by, for the front, now this is the front of our short, by 20. Now my round hip divided by 20, my round hip is 44.5, divided by 20, okay, divided by 20, so I'll have 2.2. So I'll extend my crotch to that 2.2. Yeah. Now the next thing I will do is to check what I have from this point to our crotch extension and divide it by 2. Yeah, I have 13.5. I'll be dividing it by 2 this way. I'll do the same thing, bring down the same thing here. And I'll connect the lines. Now, on our crotch extension to our hip line, I'll come out on the hip line by 0.25. And I'll be connecting with my armhole curve this way. I'm making sure it's touching this our crotch extension. This 0.2 will have here, and to connect back to the line. Now the next thing I'll do is my round waist divided by 4. My round waist divided by 4 is 8.2. So I'm taking 8.2 plus 1 inch for my dart. So I'm taking 9.2. Now I'll be using my curve to connect it back to our hip. And I'll raise it up by 0.5. Remember, this is a short knicker, it's a short, so it's very easy. Now, to get my dart, I'm going to divide what I have here by 2. I'll divide what I have here by 2. And I'm using a dart of 0.5 on both sides. And I'm coming down by 5 inches. I'll connect back my dart legs. And here, this 0.5 will raise up. We are going to connect it back to this dart. Now remember, this is a short, and we wouldn't want our short to have any funny shape here. So I like my short to be equal with my hip. It's just coming straight to my hip, which I have 11.1. So I'm going to take 11.1 divided by 2. I'm going to do that on both sides. So I'm taking it on both sides, so it will not be too tight on my thigh. So I'm taking 11.1 on both sides. If you want to have a pocket facing, then check out our trouser class. I will keep the link on our description. Now this is without a pocket, this is just a simple trouser, and yeah, we are done with the front. Now to get the back of your shorts, you're coming in by 1 inch here, and here at the waist I'm coming in by 2 inches. And I'm going to connect the line all the way till the edge of our paper. Yeah. And from here, I'll be raising it up by 1.5. So from here, I'll be taking my waist measurement, which is 8.2 plus 1 inch for our dart. I'm taking 9.2. From this back line, I'm taking 9.2. I'll still raise this place up by 0.5. And I'll be connecting it all the way till the back. Now for our hip, remember my hip is 11.1. From this our back line, I'm going to be taking 11.1. I'm doing the same thing, 11.1. And I'll be connecting those lines. without using so much curve. And I'll be connecting it back to our waist. Yeah. Now the next thing we'll be doing is to get our crotch extension for the back. Now I said for our crotch extension for the back, we'll be dividing our round hip, which is 44.5 by 10. Now we have 4.45, so I will be using 4.5. So now I'm going to extend from here, from the our back line. I'm going to extend it by 4.5. Yeah, I've extended it. Now we use our rule, do the same thing by coming out by 0.25 on the hip point at the back. I'm coming out by 0.2 and I'll connect it the same way I did for the front. Now for the back, what you do is you come out on the hemline by 0.5 and you connect. I'm connecting it back to a crotch extension for the back. I'll do the same thing for this other side. Now remember, I've not curved the front side, so I'm going to do that this way. This is for the front. So from there I'm coming out by 0.5, which is for the back. Now remember, our back is bigger than our front, so I'll do that. And I'll connect it back to our hip line. Now the next thing I'll be doing is to bring down my back dart. So I'll be dividing what I have here, 9.2 by 2. From there, I'll put down my dart legs of 0.5 on both sides. And I'll also come down by 5 inches. Now, if you want your back dart to be longer than your front dart, you come down at the back by 7 inches. But I love to use the same thing. Now, this is basically it. This is how to draft your shorts. Now, the next thing I'll be doing is to trace out. I'll be using my tracing wheel to trace out our back short to a fresh pattern paper. I'll be tracing that on this pattern paper. Now we are tracing out the back, only the back. So I'll be placing the front on top of the back. So I'll be doing this. I'm using my tracing wheel. Now I'll be doing the length. I'll be tracing out the length. back. Here is our back and here is our front. So I'm going to be cutting it out, then trace out our band. Or I can do that. I can do that. I'm using a band of 1.5. You can do your band can be 2 inches, 1.5. So I'll be doing 1.5 for my band. I'm tracing it out. Make sure you're following the curve you have at your waist. Now connect them. Now this is for my back, and I'm going to be using an arrow to indicate this is my center back, this is my side back. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the front. Now, you might be confused when you get to the front because of the back and the front. You just know that this is our front line. So I'm going to follow that line to draft out my band. Following this 0.5 raised up. So if you notice the front is more curvy at the waist than the than the back, sorry. So I'm trying to follow that curve. So I can do this with a free hand. Yeah, so now I can label it. This is our center front, side front, up and down. Yeah, so I'm cutting this out. So I'm going ahead to cut out our patterns. Now what I'll do is to cut out our band. Before doing that, you close your darts this way, and I'll be cutting it out. I'll do the same thing for the front. I'm going to be closing my front dart like so, and I'll cut it out. if you don't want to have it that on your short, please, you can use your sellotape to tape it down. But me, I want to be sewing out the darts. So I'll close it before cutting out on my fabric. I'll be closing it. So here we are done with our patterns. Now the next class will be transferring these patterns to our fabric. That will be our next class, how to make these shorts. So thank you guys for watching. See you on our next one. Bye.